remind you to do that.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. I'll try to be better about reminding you.
I need to be better about remembering.
It's hard. Oh, dude, it's
Right?
hard. I can put sticky notes all over and still not remember to hit record.
I know. And then you get like so in the moment, and then you can't think anymore.
Okay,
Yeah.
Matt, can you close your door?
Oh, yeah, I need to do that too.
That is such bad feng shui.
Well, and Dave will probably walk in the middle because he's not at home right now, and the cats will be in, and we don't want that. Thank you, Johanna.
You're welcome. I don't. Your door blends in better with the background.
It does, but I don't want the
Yeah.
cats in the middle of it, and I don't want to fight with them, and I don't want Dave making noise, and
Yeah.
so.
My kid will be jumping out by mid-meeting because Claudia will be home in about 20, and then my cat will chase her.
I'll be happy to tell you that the trash truck already came.
Oh, that's good.
Excellent.
So hopefully no other one will come during this hour.
So we had 3 people that signed up over the
Wow.
last couple of days. In fact, we had no sign-ups until yesterday. And then yesterday,
Wow.
2 signed up, and then 1 signed up this morning. And 1 person actually showed up to the meeting like 4 hours ago. So I don't think she'll be back. My guess is that she wound up messing up the time.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I saw like a email like someone joined your meeting for Innovate to
Right.
What?
But you got their email address, right? So we can contact them anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all sent them emails this morning reminding them.
Nice.
Yeah. But we can kick off here in a minute and just do the recording. What time is it? It's 1 o'clock now.
Exactly noon.
Yeah. No, it's 1 o'clock, Jen.
Sorry, it's noon.
It revolves around me, so I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, I forget. I do
Guys,
apologize.
I'm hungry for breakfast now.
Yes, Your Highness.
Get the show on the road. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
Oh, breakfast.
All right. You can eat breakfast while you do this too.
Yeah, right.
All right. So I will kick us off here in 1 second. That's a weird Marissa. Huh. Weird phone call. All right. I am playing with my sound. Get rid of that and sharing my screen. Let's get amped up with our video.
ALS. Go for ALS.
And we are go for ALS. The Space Launch System is now counting down to liftoff of Orion on its maiden voyage to the moon. Testing the ability to steer the rocket into space. Launch team can no longer cycle the count. Sound suppressor water now flowing under the ML. And here we go. Hydrogen burn-off igniters initiated. 7, 6, 5. Four-stage engine start. 3, 2, 1.
the first step in returning our country to the moon and on to Mars.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Innovate to Elevate. Today, we have a very special workshop planned for you, and we are so glad that you are here. Today, we are going to focus in on our businesses and really figure out what are we going to do to be able to innovate, to elevate our business and our life. So thank you so much for coming today to show up. Now, just a reminder that this is a workshop. So we are here to work together with you to really develop your business. So please make sure you have your workbooks ready to go, pen and paper ready. If you don't have the workbooks printed, no problem. Just get a blank piece of paper, have that ready to go, because this is going to be an active workshop. This is not a presentation. It is not something to listen to for an hour. We are not going to bore you like that. It's time to do the work, and we're here to help you through that work. My name is Matt Muller. I am a global innovation strategist, a keynote speaker, and also the best-selling author of the book, The Mindful Innovator. And I have focused my experience in the CPG, consumer packaged goods, and retail space, running an innovation team, designing that innovation team from the ground up, using strategies from Fortune 500 companies to really find how do you get those unlocks and build a strategy that's going to take you to that next level. But I cannot do this on my own, so I have an amazing team here with me today. First is Johanna Derbolowski. She is also a best-selling author of the book, The Transformation Promise, The Transformation Promise. Also a keynote speaker internationally, speaking on stages from the US to Germany, and also is a metaphysical teacher and really taps into her intuition to help guide you along your way. And then we also have Jennifer Anderson, the wonderful Jennifer Anderson, who is from Thankful Hearts Coaching, and she focuses in on accountability. She is your accountability ally, helping you really just keep you on the right path going forward. So I call her the Velvet Hammer because her approach is absolutely amazing, so smooth, but yet firm. So we have a great team here to guide you through this process. Here are our beautiful pictures right here for you to see as well, as I didn't put that up as we went through that, but all good. All right, guys. So before we are able to innovate to elevate, we need to know where we're going to start. Where do we start now? My gosh, because we could pick 1,000 things on how we want to elevate our business. In fact, I was speaking to a bunch of CEOs just earlier this week, and it really was apparent that they weren't sure where to focus their efforts. They wanted just to have a better business, but you have to dig deeper. You have to really figure out, where am I supposed to be focusing to get to a solution? And it's really hard to do that because we have so much going on. Just think about it. You are the CEOs of your business, and trying to figure out what you should be doing every single day is a lot because it's inundating. You are working in your business at the same time as working on your business, and that could be very challenging. Now, when I was running this innovation team, I was making decision after decision, trying to figure out, how was I going to move the team forward? How was I going to move the industry forward? And it was a daunting task. I had to make decisions very quickly before I was caught up by the competition. In innovation, you hear those terms of fail fast, disrupt to be disrupted, innovate or die. And we're thinking about the things that we can do with the new technology that's coming at us every single moment. And it's hard for us to actually slow down and think things through without making a decision very quickly, because we feel like we have to make those decisions fast. Now, one thing that I learned was that the average person breathes about 20 times per minute. Now, what that means is that our bodies, our nervous system is in fight or flight the majority of the time. The average person breathes 20 times per minute. That means the average person is always in fight or flight mode, which basically means that your adrenaline is rushing, cortisol is going through your veins, and you're looking behind you to see if there was anything that's going to jump out of the bushes to get you constantly. No wonder why we make really poor decisions or really fast decisions. We don't have an opportunity to really think through these things. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slow down that breathing. And what we're going to do is, when we slow down this breathing, what we're going to do is we're going to reset that nervous system. So we're going to go from 20 times per minute on the average breath to all of a sudden just breathing 3 times per minute in an average breath. And being able to do this, what we're doing is we're going to reset that nervous system so then we can start to think about our problems a little bit differently. So this exercise is about being mindful and really slowing down that breath, but then allowing us to really figure out how do we move forward and what do we want to elevate. So that is where we're going to start. So if you haven't had a chance to pick up your workbook, you can go into the chat right now and get that workbook. And I'll put that in there right now. Unless you got that, Jen. Oop, no problem. I'll get that in there. Maybe.
I got it, Matt. We're good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this box breathing exercise. So box breathing is going to help us reset the mind. So I'm going to show you what that looks like here in just a second. All right, so to reset your mind, we're going to do a box breathing exercise. Now, I want you just to visualize out a box. What you're going to do for 5 seconds on each side of this box, you're going to breathe in through your nose. You're going to hold, breathe out through your mouth, and then hold. Make a box. Now, this box breathing method will get you down 20 times per minute. So just sit up straight, relax, close your eyes, breathe in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out through the mouth. 5, 3, 4, 5. And hold. 5, 3, 4, 5. Just repeat that again. Put it on your own just for a moment, just to relax. Thought may come into your mind, that's totally fine. Let that thought flow through your mind, right out, get right back to the breath. Time. Right. Now on the next breath, I just want you to start to think about what exactly you want to innovate, elevate. What is the most significant challenge that you're facing right now? Once you think you have that significant challenge, go a little bit deeper. Why is that the challenge? Is that what you really need to solve? And do you even need to go deeper? Now, I hope that helped bring a little bit of clarity and an ability to slow down the mind just a little bit to be able to select what that significant challenge is. And once you have that, right now, what we're going to do is we're going to start to workshop on that. So we're going to get to an active workshop right now with your workbooks and also with Johanna, who's going to lead us off on helping us understand the gift of roadblocks.
Hi, and we're diving right into the gift of roadblocks, which is just basically the things that don't go as we planned. And a lot of it will already been solved by the box breathing, because when we calm down, we focus more on what's right in front of us and a lot of the little crazy roadblocks fall away. But looking at the roadblocks, why are they gifts? They're gifts because they tell us to reconsider what we're doing. But before we go into that, we need to find out what the roadblock actually is. So we are trying to move forward in our business, in our life, and something is holding us back. Who and what is involved in holding us back? This could be your family, your employees, but it could also be payments that are pending and paperwork, your business partners. So just very briefly here, pick three things or people that are holding you back in some sort of way, that are involved in you not being able to move forward. I don't want you to really think about this very long right now. I would like you to just take off what's on the top of your mind. Later on, when you sit quietly by yourself, you can be more of a detective and dive deeper and see the little nuances. So sometimes to move forward, you have to hire somebody, maybe a specialist, to help you with some of the things you want to achieve, but immediately you're thinking about your rent, your family, where's that chunk of money coming from? You know, what can I do? And it feels like it's pulling you into not moving forward. And then you see the roadblock for what it is attached to, also to your, in this case, your rent payment or the food on the table, which is a really important part. So just become aware of what all is involved in that which keeps you from moving forward. And then we're going to the second point. Matt, can we have that? Yeah. Why am I receiving this gift? And that's a really fun one because there's always benefits to everything that happens to us. So us not moving forward at this moment could be a gift because we've all heard the phrase, the loudest wheel gets the grease. So we get attention when we whine and complain about things not going well. That attention is also energy that makes us thrive. So that is one gift, getting the energy from being whiny. The other thing could be that we need to pay more attention to our health because the way we've been going is too stressful and health problems are around the corner. And there could be lots of little things that this is pointing us to. It could also be something that where we're going is not entirely right. So it may look right on paper, but not feel right in your body. It may feel right in your body and not look right on paper too. And so sometimes a roadblock is also assigned to go a little bit another way, to go a detour, to see some things that you haven't seen that are important for you to ultimately move forward. And for that, I would love for Jen to share her example of roadblock.
Yeah, thanks, Johanna. So I had the great pleasure of chatting with Johanna a few weeks ago and was just telling her that I felt like something was missing and I didn't know what was going on and I felt really blocked. And actually what she said to me was that I was not blocked, but that I was not giving away all the love that I was holding that I was needing, meaning I wasn't helping all the people I was supposed to be helping. And Johanna and I are really just getting to know one another, and she did not know my backstory, which is has to do with an alcoholic older brother. And her comment to me was, I see you helping doing something around rehabilitation and addicts and doing some work around that. And so as I started researching, I realized there is a thing called a recovery coach, which I had no idea was out there. And so I am now getting certified to become a recovery coach, but I want to work with the families of the addicts. I want to help them love on their addict better and be able to take care of them. And that was a really eye-opening shift for me, because I wasn't even thinking. I mean, I had been thinking about doing some of that, but I didn't know how I was going to go about doing it. And so just having that conversation with Johanna and really being in her energy helped me to know more of where I needed to go. And that's really how we work on some quantum shifting in this group. So thank you, Johanna.
Well, thank you, Jen, for sharing this. And so what we saw there is that brings me to the last point that we have in the workbook. These roadblocks, they point you in a new direction. If you find out what the benefits are, a lot of times you can avoid a lot of pain of running against the wall or through the wall by simply listening to what things are telling you, where they're pointing you to. And if you can get there without the pain, well, that's all the better. So think hard about the benefits, because they will point you to where you need to go and how to incorporate that without, the headache from running against the wall and beating yourself up in the process. Now, having all that, it may be really nice for you to know that there's also another way to figure yourself out, and that's a very fast way, and that is going outside yourself. We cannot look at ourselves completely objectively, because we are the subject. And if you are anything like me or halfway normal person, you will know that you come up with excuses for yourself faster than you can say what the issue is. If I think I should do something differently, I know, yes, but I can't do it that way because, and then on it goes from there, because it's really easy to find an excuse for yourself. But here we got a solution. Go outside of yourself. Imagine you're reading about a business that has your kind of issues in the newspaper in the morning with your coffee or tea or beautiful protein shake. Decide, wow, they should, why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they doing that? Your thoughts will come up immediately if you're open. You're reading about this company is losing all their business because of not paying attention to this and that, and you have an answer because it's similar to your business. So you can do a pretend like that. And the easiest way, I think, is you pick your best friend. Your best friend, and you superimpose your story onto your best friend. So let's say I want to go forward with my business and nothing is working. There's, I put in all this work and I don't have the right amount of help doing this project that I'm working on or going out into the world, whatever it may be. Your problem can be solved by listening to your best friend telling that story. And then because we always know what to do. That's the beauty of our intuition. We do know what to do, but we can't see it when we look at ourselves that clearly, but we can see it when we give advice to somebody that's in the same situation. And if it's somebody you really care about, well, it's all the better, because you'll give really good advice. And then you listen to it yourself. And the funny thing is, if somebody else gives that advice, we can go like in resistance and say like, why are they giving me that advice? And this doesn't really work for me. But when we give the advice ourselves, we're more open to it. So good luck with going outside of yourself. And back to you, Matt.
Okay. Now, there is one other tool that I love to use to get creativity going. So the first tool was to go outside yourself and to start thinking about giving yourself advice, is a great way to start. Another way to even go further than that is to become inspired and imagine you being somebody completely different. So some of the tools that I use with my clients in CPG and retail, like these big companies, we go into these workshops and we start to think about solving our problems if we were somebody else. So, or a different brand, right? So if I am working with a company that is trying to figure out how do they get customers to be more engaged, well, maybe we'll look at how do I do this if I were Disney? Well, I probably would make it more fun and joyful. How would I do this if I was Apple? I probably would clean up my stores and make it a little bit more modern. So you can use these other lenses to allow you to start thinking about other ways to solve this problem. So I'd love for you just to take a moment to start to think about these different perspectives on the particular challenge that you're faced with right now. And now that you know what that challenge is, you've been able to give yourself advice on that as your own friend. But now, how would Apple do that? Just think about that for a moment. And now, how would Disney do it? And another one that I love to use is, how would my father do this? How would a child do it? You can use so many different perspectives. And what you're doing here is you're getting not quality of thought, but you're getting quantity of thought. And that is so important when you're first faced with a challenge, is to figure out how many different things could you potentially do. So not focusing on what's the one thing you need to do, but what are all the potential things that you can do. Now, once you've had a moment to do that and think about all through this, now we're going to have to narrow it down and figure out what are we going to do. We have to prioritize and we have to focus. So what we're going to do is go to the next page in your workbook, and we are going to start to fill out our prioritization matrix. This is the Eisenhower matrix that was used by President Eisenhower to help him organize all of the different tasks that he wanted to accomplish. Now, this is a great tool to be able to take every single one of your ideas and to measure them out on two different parameters. The first one that we want to measure every single one of those ideas out is on impact, and the second would be effort. Now, if it is low impact, we're going to score that idea a 1. If it is high impact, we're going to score it a 10. And then we're going to do the same thing for each ideas on the effort scale. So each idea should have two different scores, an impact score and an effort score. So just take a moment to fill that out in your book right now on each one of the ideas that you came up with today. Now, once you have been able to do that, we're going to start plotting these out on the Eisenhower matrix. So each one of these ideas will land in a particular zone. So which zone do we want the best? Which zone should the ideas come from that we should execute? Well, we want to execute the ideas in zone 4, because zone 4 is going to have the highest impact for the least amount of effort. So that's where we want to start. We want to make ground up quick. We want to elevate fast. And to do that, we have to get to the things that are going to be done most quickly with the least amount of effort. So as Eisenhower would say, this is the do zone. These are the things that we should be doing right now. After we get off this call today, you should be doing those things. Now, in zone 3, those ideas are just as impactful, if not more impactful than the idea in zone 4, which is B. But D and C are going to take more time and more effort to accomplish. So those are in the planning zone. So those are the things that we will start to plan for and to do after we do the easier items in zone 4. So all of your ideas in zone 4, we should be doing very quickly. And then everything in zone 3 are things that we'll start to plan for. And then anything in zone A, high effort, low impact, don't do those. Not worth your time. And then in zone 2, which is the lower effort, low impact, if you have nothing else, that's where we can then focus, is on that area. So that's how you start to use an Eisenhower matrix to get organized to be able to execute these ideas. Remember, we are inundated with so many different things going on in our life, making decisions really fast. This is a great way for you to be able to prioritize, to focus in on the things that you should be doing, as well as the things that you should not be doing. So now that you know exactly where you're going to be focusing, what ideas you're going to take to the next level, now we have to build a plan to get there. And there's no better person other than Jennifer to take you through exactly what that would look like. So Jen, please tell everyone how to start to execute on these ideas.
Well, thank you, Matt. Yes. And so this is where we have to start setting some accountability, right? We have to set those goals, and those goals have to be something that we can do. And so at the back of your workbook, you do have a beautiful tracker, and this tracker will give you places to put things that you need to do daily. It'll give you things that you need to do weekly, monthly, and even one-time things that you want to keep track of. They might be things that maybe you do once a quarter, and it's easier to keep track of them that way. It also gives you a slot for time allotted, like how much time are you going to spend on that? And then just simple check marks for when you do them Monday through Friday. The thing with accountability is that you want to stay consistent. And that's what this tracker is going to help you do. If you have something that is really high impact for you that doesn't take much time, but you don't make it a habit and you don't do it daily, it's not working for you then. You might as well not even be doing it. You might as well not have ever done it, because if you're not doing it consistently, it's not working for you. It's not doing the thing it needs to be doing. So that's where we love this tracker. I use a tracker in my daily life all the time. I use it especially around my health. And I make sure that I'm doing the things that are moving the needle forward for my health, especially. So that's what you want to do for your business. What are those things that don't take much time, that have high yield for you, that move the needle forward? If you don't know this and you're not aware of it, there's a statistic out there that out of all of the people that ever set goals, only about 7% actually achieve them. And most of those people use some form of accountability to do that. Very few people achieve their goals without having accountability. So I'm not saying you have to hire an accountability coach or ally. I'm not saying, you could have a person that checks in with you. You could just use a tracker like that. But having that accountability, if you can hold yourself accountable, that is fantastic. I will say probably 75% of the people in this world cannot truly hold themselves accountable long term. I can tell you, for me, I can hold anyone else accountable for anything, but sometimes when it comes to me, I fall really short. I'm doing a speaking thing, a summit next week, and I promised her I'd send her something, and she had to check in with me twice to get me to send it to her. And it wasn't because I didn't have it. It was simply because I was not in front of my computer in that moment. And when I got back to my computer, I had forgotten. So thankfully, she had a lot of grace with me. And I did tell her, I said, I love holding people accountable, but I can't do it for myself. So I was very grateful that she did that for me. So this is how you hold yourself accountable, and how you can do it is just by using the tracker. Make sure you're using it and you're doing consistent action. Set alarms on your phone. That is actually something I do. I set an alarm to fill out my tracker every day, because then I know what I missed. And don't do it at the end of the day, because then you don't have time to go back and do the things you were supposed to do, right? So maybe if you are normally somebody who's done at 5 p.m., maybe set that alarm for 2 and evaluate what you've done for the day. What do you still need to get done that you haven't followed through with? So that's a really, really good way to stay consistent. Okay, I think that's all I have for you today, Matt. So I'll send it back to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Jen. Now, there is one other thing that we can do other than just holding ourselves accountable and building an annual plan. And absolutely, that is important. We want to do that. However, what we can also do is something really cool, and something that I got to experience with Johanna. And Johanna, I would love for you to share exactly what that process is, it's not manifestation, but it's something much different and interesting, but similar. There we go.
Well, first of all, I wanted to just briefly say that I love that idea of not checking in with yourself at the end of the day, but before the day ends, so that you still have time to catch up with all the things you've flaked on earlier. Mm-hmm. And I also wanted to say that, working with Matt and really getting clear about where the effort and the impact lies has been really super helpful to me. And it just pushed a lot of things in the background that were fast forgotten because they weren't that important as I moved forward with other projects. So, and it's wonderful to have allies or coaches to get the parts done that you can't do yourself. And again, just want to touch on that again. It's hard to be objective with yourself and your business because it's personal. When it has the you're in front of it, it's personal. If it's your business, your life, your problem, you need somebody to help you be objective about it. And that's just to follow up what we've said so far. And now we're getting into my favorite part. Do we get the screen?
Here. 3 to beam up, Mr. Scott. Beam us up.
Well, to me, I was fascinated as a kid by exactly that part of the show. I would watch it over and over, and I would fantasize to just be able to teleport someplace else. And then as I grew up, I learned about quantum physics and realized that that is actually possible. We are all particles, and these particles can rearrange themselves to new realities. And what I call it, or what we call it, is quantum shifting. And that means you can go from place A to place B and rearrange yourself. So from our work with Matt, we have now known what has the lowest effort and the highest impact. And from Jen, we know how to be accountable with it. And we earlier looked at the roadblocks, so we don't have to go through all of them, and we can take the detour. And now we know where that point B is, where we want to be. And when we know that place, we can now try it out. We can step into that and see what it would feel like, what it would be like, what needs to be tweaked, what may be uncomfortable. And here's the key. You cannot get to point B without leaving point A. So to get from A to B, you have to leave A behind. And to us as human beings, that is scary because we know A is familiar. We want to stay there. We don't care if it's painful or miserable. We know it. We know what to expect. We don't know that from anything new. We don't know what's happening when we are actually in B, which may be a lot better than A, but there's no guarantee because we haven't been there yet. So we take that quantum leap of faith and leave A behind and go to B. I'd like to think about those people that left Europe on a long voyage to probably never return into a new country that they didn't know what to expect. And that was a huge leap of faith to build something new. So most of us do not have to be that drastic. We don't have to leave everything we know behind, but we have to leave that comfort and misery of point A behind to get to point B. And another thing that helps with it is that immediately once you shift your mindset into that you look for what is new, what's different, what is exciting about this. So you get the little bit of a direction into where you want to go by noticing things. But sometimes leaving A behind is difficult. And I'd like for Matt to explain that a little bit.
Yeah, thanks to Johanna, we had that experience of going from point A to point B. About a year ago when we met, maybe a little over a year ago now, she noticed that I was having a hard time going from being a full-time employee, getting a weekly paycheck, into building my business of being a keynote speaker and author. And she's like, I want to do a quantum shifting exercise on you. So I was like, okay, fine, that's no problem. Let's do it. That'd be fun. So we wound up getting on a phone call and doing this quantum shifting experience and feeling into that point B of what it would be like. And it was a really cool experience. I can't really say that it was anything like, wow, I felt like the tingles through my body or anything like that. It just was kind of just happened. And she said at the end of the call, like, okay, well, I just want to let you know, just beware that things might fall apart, in the next couple of days. So just be ready for that. But at the end, you're going to get to point B. I was like, yeah, sure, okay, that's fine. I hung up the phone, told her thank you, and then I went back to my regular life. The next day, I woke up, I went to my office right here where I'm sitting today, logged into my computer for my employer, and I had a notification that I had a meeting with HR that day. And lo and behold, that day I was let go. It was amazing. It was like the most funniest experience, the most horrible experience, and the greatest experience all wrapped up into one because Johanna was right. Everything kind of fell apart. But then soon after, I had my first paid speaking gig. My book became bestseller on Amazon, and now I'm running a business, and I'm so happy that I have that all happened. So it was for the quantum shifting. I probably would still be working both this job that I'm doing now, the consulting, and also still working full time because I'm just was so afraid to leave it. So it forced me to open up to that new reality, that shift. So a really cool experience, all thanks to Johanna.
Well, thank you, Matt. And that is, that just that quantum shifting is different from manifestation, where you really have to work on being positive about and feeling the new place on a regular basis. And it's kind of a much longer process. It works too, because, but it's nicer to get there faster, even though it's ripping off the band-aid in some cases.
Right?
So
Yeah.
there's that short sting if you go that way.
Well, yes, and thank you for that experience, Johanna, and to everyone else that is watching right now. This is an experience that Johanna does for every single one of her clients. She takes them through the quantum shifting experience. So not only are you getting the strategy, the accountability, but you're also getting into this metaphysical space in the quantum strategy world, the quantum physics world. So I think altogether, really cool program. So on that note, well, first I wanted to say thank you all for tuning in today and putting the work into your business to innovate, to elevate. That concludes our workshop session, but I do want to give you a little bit more information on what it is like to work with us. So I am going to show you a little bit about our program. All right. So our quantum strategy program, the most popular one that we have is a 90-day program. It's a holistic approach to coaching. In fact, I don't even think it's coaching. It's more like you have a full team working for you to get you to your results much faster. In fact, one of our clients just the other day told us that they're able to accomplish more than what they would have accomplished 2 years on their own with us, all because of our strategy and our guidance along the way. Now, this program is holistic. There is an element of psychic awareness that goes into it. Finding out what are those subconscious blocks that are happening within yourself and within your business. There's the strategy element, taking, executed strategies from Fortune 500 companies that I have worked with and putting those to work for you. There also is the accountability piece, really helping you stay focused and aligned and giving you these opportunities to always be able to check in with somebody and make sure that you're going in the right direction to make progress. And there's also the mindfulness aspect of it, to making sure that you are fully tapped into the present moment and able to pivot very quickly when needed. This all is in your program for 90 days. You're getting these 3 subject matter experts. You're getting 20 plus sessions along that time frame, unlimited coaching access, and also access to your next level of success. All of this in a 90-day program is usually $6,000. However, right now, or $6,500. And right now, this program is on sale, 25% off this week only for $4,875. So this is your time to act. It is your time to give yourself a nice Christmas gift. So this way you can be ready for 2025 to innovate and elevate. Now, it is Christmas time, and I know that you want to buy the kiddos something for Christmas. So in case you don't have the budget for something like this right now, we don't want to stop your growth. So we are offering a Kickstarter package. This Kickstarter package is a little bit smaller, but it will get you to the next level faster. This investment is $444. You are getting 3 30-minute strategy sessions with Johanna, myself. You're also getting 3 accountability calls, us 3 subject matter experts, and a clear direction for you to elevate. So we won't get you all the way there, but we will get you to the right point and put you on the path to your success, to innovate and elevate. And that concludes our time today. If you're interested in any of the 2 packages, please let us know through email. You'll be able to see that in the link in the emails coming to you from your future at quantumstrategycoaching.com. And we look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Oh.